Welcome back to my channel. It's Masterpiece 59, bringing you another Raw and Smackdown review. So make sure to drop down all your thoughts, drop down your ratings for the show. Let me know if you've been enjoying WWE or not. And of course, as always, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And let's get straight to it. We had opened up Monday Night Raw with the Beast Brock Lesnar coming out with Paul Heyman, and they would come out with some police, and he would say how they are obsessed with each other, and how he's got a restraining order for Oba Femi. Then Oba will come out, and then he would tell Paul to explain this, and then he would end up taking out the police because Paul would tell them to do their job. He would throw all of them all over the place. Then he would say, Brock Lesnar used to be the one running this place. Now all you do is run. And he would say, in this cage, you can't run no more. Let me know. And he said that he didn't take his championship shot because we all know that even if he took it, he would have costed him the match. So I guess that's his explanation. Let me know your thoughts on this down below. Next, we have Io Sky versus Roxanne Perez in a pretty solid match. Of course, the Judgment Day would end up getting involved. Io Sky would still pick up the win, rolling her up. And after the match, they would attack her. And then here would come Sol Ruga to save her. But then they would end up Raquel would end up just destroying his soul. And she wasn't no match. And then they just beat up Io. Let me know your thoughts on this down below. And if you're ready for their SummerSlam match. So we have the Vision come out to celebrate their tag team championship win. But then Otis and Tozawa will come out. And they would ask to talk along with Maxine, so she would tell them to get out of the ring. They would say how Austin Theory is bad news and how they know her, this is not her. And he would seem like he was getting ready to confess his love before Austin Theory insulted him. Then he would piss him off, and then Otis would start attacking him, and then he'd get into a brawl. Otis did start to take him out until Maxine, she suckered him in, and she would end up helping them get beat down. I'm not really interested in this storyline. Let me know your thoughts on this down below. Next, as we would come back from commercial break, we have a random impromptu match between Jimmy Uso and Royce Keys. Apparently, Jimmy was coming to find Solo, and then he would get attacked by Royce Keys. But it would end in disqualification because Jacob Fatu would come and attack Royce Keys. And as he would look to hit him, he would have a chair around his neck and look to hit him. Here would come Solo Sikoa, and he would say he was coming back to join the family. But he would trick them, and then he would attack them. And then as they would get the upper hand, here would come LA Knight to save them. And he would challenge them to Flying J and to a 6-man tag match at SummerSlam. Let me know your thoughts on this down below. Next, Paul Heyman was backstage with the Vision. He would say he was proud of them. They would ask, will he come back? And he would say, since they have Maxine, what do they need him for? Let me know your thoughts on this down below. Next, we would see Oba Femi with Adam Pearce. Adam would tell him that Paul Heyman was bluffing. Or it would say that tells him that he's afraid. Let me know your thoughts on this down below. Next, we would have Bayley call out Lyra Valkyria. And then here out would come Lyra, and she would say how everything she told Bayley, she would lie to. How she's not a locker room leader, she's a doormat. She was the worst of the 4 horsewomen. And then Bayley would say she talked to Pierce, and they will be fighting each other at Saturday night's main event. Let me know your thoughts on that. And then Bayley was ready for Lyra's attack, so she would get the upper hand. But then Lyra would end up just beating her down and standing tall. Let me know your thoughts down below. Next, we have the gauntlet match to see who will face Penta for the Intercontinental Championship at SummerSlam. First match, it was Dominic Mysterio versus Joe Hendry. It was a pretty solid, short match. Jaden McDonough ended up costing Joe the win, and Dom ended up picking up the win. Let me know your thoughts on this down below. Next, we will see Dominic Mysterio versus Javon Evans. It was a pretty solid, short match. Javon ended up picking up the win with some help from Danhausen and cursing them to JD and Dom. Let me know your thoughts on this down below. Next, we have Javon Evans versus Dragon Lee in this incredible match, in this gauntlet match. It was awesome. I really enjoyed it. The chemistry between these two is definitely there. And they need to have more matches and run that back. Javon Evans ended up picking up the win, rolling him up. Then they would shake hands afterwards. Let me know your thoughts on this down below. Next, we will see Javon Evans versus Rusev in the gauntlet match. A pretty solid match. Rusev ended up picking up the win with the accolade. Javon would get out of like 3 of them Jones. Let me know your thoughts on this down below. Next we have Chad Gable versus Rusev in the Gauntlet match. Match was a pretty solid match. Chad Gable ended up picking up the win with a victory roll. And then after the match, Rusev, of course, wasn't happy, so he would put him in the accolade. Let me know your thoughts down below. In the final match, we will have Ethan Page versus Chad Gable in a pretty solid short match. Chad Gable ended up picking up the win with the ankle lock, tapping him out. And I'm happy for Gable. He deserves this, and hopefully he does win. Although I still like Penta, I would be cool, but I think Gable should win. And I know this match is going to be awesome. WWE, just please give them time, because this match will be really awesome. And I'm excited for this match. Let me know your thoughts on this down below. In the main event, we had a contract signing between Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins. Of course, it went in a brawl. They get straight to the point and sign a contract, and then Reigns would say how he's number one and then Rollins is number two, and how what if Rollins does win the championship, is he just gonna get hurt again? And he said on top of that, he needs the Money in the Bank briefcase to win the championship, and he had to fake an injury, and then they would get into it. Let me know your thoughts on this down below. Overall, I thought Raw was a pretty solid episode this week. I give it like an 8 out of 10. Let me know your thoughts down below. We had opened up Smackdown with Gunther coming out, saying how he's been mistreated. Then here would come Adam Pearce saying how if it was up to him, he would be fired, but he's not. And if he would have let Nick finish, he would have told him that if him and Sammy wins, they are added to the championship match at SummerSlam, and it will become a fatal four-way. Then Cody Rhodes would come out, and then they would brawl. And then Cody would challenge him to a match, and Adam Pearce would make it official. Let me know your thoughts on this down below. And next, Adam Pearce will make an announcement that they will be crowning an interim WWE Women's Champion since Rhea is injured. And basically, I guess that, well, it would be a ladder match at SummerSlam. And basically, I guess that when she comes back, she automatically gets a championship match for the title. Let me know your thoughts on this down below. Next, we have Finn Balor versus Tama Tonga in a pretty solid match. Finn Balor ended up picking up the win. Tama Tonga, of course, tried to get involved. I do hope that Finn Balor gets out of this vortex with them and he moves on to bigger things. Let me know your thoughts on this down below. Next, we will see CM Punk backstage with Adam Pearce. He would say, make sure you heard him correctly. He would say he likes things old-fashioned, and then he would encounter Damian Priest, and Damian would say if he's still champion after SummerSlam, he'll be coming for him. And then he would say, I guess you'll go around maybe serious that then maybe him and Cody will come for those tag championships. Let me know your thoughts on this down below. Next, we have Tiffany Stratton versus JC Jane to see who will be the first one in the ladder match. First they would attack her before the match started. Then here will come Brie Bella and Paige to take out Fatal Influence. Then they would have a solid one-on-one match with Tiffany Stratton picking up the win. Let me know your thoughts on this down below. Next, Trick Williams was backstage talking with Melo, and Melo would say how he holds that title real tight when he's coming over, and he found a way not to defend that title against him. And he would say because he knows that Melo is better than him, and Trick would say that he's not, and he said, mind your business while grown folks talking or whatever. Let me know your thoughts on this down below. Next, we will see Nia Jax versus Jade Cargill to see who will get in the ladder match, which it wasn't really a match because Charlotte would end up attacking Jade, and she would cause Nia Jax the match, and Jade will win by disqualification. Then, of course, Nia was pissed. I mean, I would be pissed too, so she would attack Charlotte and leave her to get beat up by Jade and her group. Let me know your thoughts on this down below. Next, we see Gunther backstage with Jackie, and he would say how he doesn't really care about Sammy and how he's going to be some rationale to Cody and he's going to win tomorrow. And then Candice will stroll Johnny and say that they need this win. And then he would say, well, maybe Johnny should step in the ring, basically. Let me know your thoughts on this down below. Then Candice will really get attacked by Blake Monroe. She would introduce herself saying she's the new girl. It seems like she's just going to attack everyone and introduce herself. And then she would tell Johnny he needs a haircut. Let me know your thoughts on this down below. Next, we see Nia Jax pissed off, her and Lash Legend. She would get a match against Charlotte Flair to see who would get in the ladder match. Let me know your thoughts on this down below. Next, we have Fraxium versus the War Raiders in the tag team match. And man, when I say this was a great, solid match, a really great match, I really enjoyed it. I could see these four guys wrestle longer. I really enjoyed the match. The War Raiders will end up picking up the win. Let me know your thoughts on this down below. Next, we see Cody Rhodes backstage with CM Punk, and they were talking about the match and how he feels. CM says he feels kind of involved. And then Cody would say, well, he can watch the match. Well, CM would say, yeah, he's going to go out there to be in his corner, then watch the match. Cody would tell him he could watch the match from back here, and then they would just go back and forth with that a little bit. It was kind of an awkward conversation. Let me know your thoughts on this down below. Next, Danhausen would get interviewed, and he would say how, talking about his backup, and his backup will be a black cat. Well, a cat that was in his cage. It was a stuffed animal. I think it's in that Carl Anthony Towns. Let me know your thoughts on this down below. In the main event, we have Cody Rhodes versus Gunther. Cody would attack him to start off the match. It was a pretty solid match. It would get a disqualification and an all-out brawl to end the show between all four of them in a tag match. Let me know your thoughts on this down below. Till next time, I would give this show an 8 out of 10. Not 7 or 8 out of 10. Smackdown was a pretty solid show this week. Let me know your thoughts on this and drop down your Saturday night's main event predictions. Till next time, like, comment, and subscribe.